Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. We got Brad Garlinghouse in a new interview and so much more. How about Amazon and Ripple for real though? Yeah, how about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.73 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency, and we're off 0.3% on the market. Right now, 76,300 plus for Bitcoin, 3,000 plus for Ethereum. It's waking up. Look, 22% up on the 7-day. Come on in. $123 billion plus market cap for USD Tether, the highest I've ever seen. And USDC, 37 billion plus, the highest I've ever seen. It looks like people are loading up their money into this market so they can play around. That's what it looks like to me, because the market is positive, so it's not people exiting their positions the way I'm seeing it. So XRP, 54 cents, we're off 0.4 on the 24-hour. We're up 7.5 on the 7-day. The range of price between 54 and 55 cents, we'll keep an eye on it. I want to tell you about Link2, the best home for private equity in the world, but take a look. Let me just put it up here so you can see some of the incredible products that they have. Look, every different sector you could imagine. Digital assets, artificial intelligence, health tech, fintech, food tech, and you have so many other products on here that you could have access to. Internet. It's just look at the opportunities. AI is exploding. You have so many options here. Autonomous drones, Zipline has been killing it. Stripe, fintech. Look, the opportunities here are just simply remarkable. Don't waste any time. It takes less than 3 or 4 minutes to sign up, register, and fund your account. I'm not even kidding. That's how streamlined this is, with the most affordable minimums in the entire private equity space. That's why this is a remarkable opportunity. Click the link below and get started. And that's what we're going to do right now. Just in, BlackRock Spot Ethereum ETF saw $60.3 million of inflows on November 8th, marking its highest inflows since August 7th. Oh, okay. And then here, VanEck CEO says Bitcoin's value will be half of all the gold outstanding. So that's something like 300K, baby. And I bought my Bitcoin this last go around inside my Roth in iTrust Capital. And it'll be tax-free when I choose to draw on it at 59.5. Come on in. Yeah, I feel smarter than you know what right there. Take a listen.
Yeah, and it's great to have you. And when you're probably asked as much as I am if Bitcoin's going to 100,000 next, what would you say?
Kelly, happy Friday. I think Bitcoin's going to hit all-time highs. It hit them today, and I think it's going further, right? My basic premise is that ultimately Bitcoin's value will be half of that of all the gold outstanding. So you're talking about something like $300,000 for Bitcoin.
Why only half the value? Why not a quarter of the value, or pick some other random number?
Well, because maybe I'm more balanced. I think if I were a Bitcoin maximalist, I would say it would overtake gold. But I think that's like a reasonable base assumption. It's clear, one of the big winners this year is individual investors have really piled into the Bitcoin ETFs. And I think as individuals, as a constituency, they were important in this election. The loss by Sherrod Brown of his Ohio Senate seat, the fact that Trump went to the Bitcoin convention, shows that there's a big constituency in the U.S. and hopefully it becomes a bipartisan issue as well, not so one-sided.
No doubt about it. And we've seen an influx this time around when it comes to Congress, that there have been an addition of over 260 representatives that are now crypto advocates between the House and the Senate. So positive things all the way around. And imagine Bitcoin hitting 300K. Come on in. Yeah. There's a link to that iTrust too, if you're interested in doing the same thing I did. Tether funds $45 million oil deal in the Middle East. Did you hear what I just said? Tether funds a $45 million oil deal in the Middle East. The transaction covers 670,000 barrels of oil, marking Tether's move from stablecoins into commodities. I wonder how the Department of Justice and the U.S. Treasury feel about all of this. Cantor Fitzgerald says there's nothing to worry about. CEO Howard Lutnick is spearheading Trump's transition efforts and playing a key role in personnel selection. Lutnick has a long-standing professional relationship with Richard Farley, who's now being talked about as possible next SEC chair. Cantor Fitzgerald manages Tether's $72 billion worth of Treasury bonds, and which is highlighted in here, and we don't need to play it, but here's the thing. So Cantor Fitzgerald's overseeing their Treasury bond position. Brad Garlinghouse has told us that the U.S. government's going after Tether, right? Tether just does their first big, large oil deal. And you have to wonder, I've always believed that, Bitcoin's a government psyop to deal with this transition of the monetary system and the stress of it. I feel like Tether has been a psyop to test out how this goes, even if it didn't start off that way. It's become one because I believe they've been captured. I don't think that you're just allowed to do these things. Look, that's what the petrodollar's used for. Now a private issuer is going to be issuing dollars for oil deals in the Middle East, and nobody's cleared this with the Fed or the U.S. Treasury. All I'm saying is that I don't know where this goes, but I know that there's another chapter to this story, however it goes, right? Stay tuned. The real USD's coming too, right? And if you're wondering if America will have a CBDC, it won't be under this president.
And tonight I'm also making another promise to protect Americans from government tyranny. As your president, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I tell you what, and I love hearing that too, but we got to get the private issuance of stable coins done correctly so they can't be weaponized in the same manner that we've seen social media. Right? Because you could see the same thing happening there if it's not done right legislatively. So stay tuned on that. Now, I'm reminding everybody, Stuart Alderati shared with all of us that Ripple had a meeting with President Trump in the summer of 24 months ago, where he promised that he would make crypto his campaign issue and a policy issue. And you know what? He is sticking to it. And I'm really, really excited to see what's going to come. I was just talking with my friend Sean, and he was just saying, and I completely agree with him, he said, I feel like there's a weight lifted now. When I wake up, when I walk around, I'm not wondering if we're ever going to get to clarity or when this ever ends, because it just did. Yeah, let's keep moving. And look, we know Ripple has done an amazing job over a decade now of building the kind of market infrastructure for the traditional finance world to tap into this new digital economy and all that it has to offer. But the vision of Ripple goes much beyond that. Ripple cooperates with 57 universities around the world. Yes. Ripple's University Blockchain Research Initiative is transforming academia with 1,200 plus research projects, 850 courses, 900 campus events, and 90 plus XRP Ledger projects. This tells me that there's real vision at Ripple to know that if anyone's going to be able to build and make this new economy on the new digital payment rails, then you need to educate people so they know that it's available to do so. And that's exactly how forward-thinking Ripple is. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse talks Trump, SEC, Gary Gensler on the British broadcast. Take a listen.
Another token seeing big gains over the past few days is XRP, which has been developed by the digital payment network Ripple. It's currently valued at around $11 billion and is trying to go mainstream by launching its own ETF. However, it's currently involved in a long-standing case with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is blocking the launch. For more on all this, we're now joined by the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. So welcome, Brad. Let's start with that tweet that you have sent on a crypto checklist to Donald Trump for his first 100 days, including firing SEC Chair Gary Gensler. What are the main things that you want him to address?
Well, as you probably know, Donald Trump has been kind of a crypto advocate and the crypto president by his self-proclamation around that for a number of months during the campaign. And he has actually said that one of the first things he would do in office is to do everything he can do to remove Gary Gensler, who has really waged a war against crypto in the United States. The irony, of course, is many countries around the world, even the UK, Switzerland, Singapore, have really leaned into crypto, created clear rules, which has allowed entrepreneurs and capital to flow in and allow the industry to grow and thrive.
But while Trump is seen as favorable for crypto leaders and investors, does his recent alignment with crypto actually pose some ethical concerns? I mean, he's launched the cryptocurrency project World Liberty Financial. Is this a potential conflict of interest now that he has a stake in the industry, Brad?
You know, I think obviously Donald Trump has stakes in lots of industries, and I think the voters decided that they preferred Donald Trump as opposed to other candidates throughout the process. So I don't really take a position on that. I think there's obviously a lot of disclosure laws, and I think as his second trip to the White House, I'm sure there's plenty of people around him that are experienced with that. I do think, regardless of his own participation in different parts of the economy, we've got to get the United States growing in as it relates to this industry. And the Biden administration, really not just the United States SEC, but other parts of the government as well, have been pretty hostile towards crypto, despite its growth, despite that it's over a $2 trillion market today.
And you know what? That's a fantastic point, because you're talking about the FDIC and the OCC. This is what the point I've been making, and Brad has made this point before, specifically citing those agencies. You know, we have the clarity. The SEC is not challenging whether XRP is a security or not. The U.S. Treasury Department FinCEN determined in 2015 that XRP is in fact a currency. So, you know, why are those agencies still stepping in to stop the financial system and the banks from using this technology, right? And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that logjam to bring them off the sidelines and into this space. And believe me, they all have tried to delay it for as long as they can, but it's here now. And the smaller players recognize that they can get a first mover advantage, and then the big boys will have no choice but to come, and they know this. They know this better than we do. So super excited about that. I'm going to move forward right there, but you'll be able to see the whole interview. We'll cover more of it later, but that helps for where we're going next. Right here, listen to this. This is Eric Balchunas. Shout out to him and Paul Barron. Paul's crushing it out here. If you're not following Paul, why not? I don't understand why you're not following him. Or Eric Balchunas, for that matter. But Eric Balchunas was at Ripple Swell recently. XRP will lead the way to traditional finance. Yeah, TradFi, baby. Come on in. Take a listen.
It's interesting. You know, it's just the Ripple conference, and it felt pretty TradFi, you know, compared to some of the other conferences I went to. And I can see it growing.
I was looking at your tweet. What odds would you give the appointments of Pierce as the chair? I'm kind of curious. What are you seeing now that you got a little bit of feedback? Do you think Pierce would be it, or maybe Ueda or someone else?
Well, when Gensler leaves, she's going to be the acting chair. I think that's what our regulatory guy said. It'd be 2 and 2. So okay. I think she'd be a great chair. I really like her. We've interviewed her for the podcast. She's a nice person. She's a libertarian. She thinks just, you know, disclose all the, you got to let the people have some choice. And she's more of a free market person. And I just think that's a better way to approach it. That's just my opinion. So I think she'd be great. And with her, I think you would see some of these coins approved.
And I think we've gotten confirmation from Eleanor Terrett that she's not interested in becoming the chairperson, but she is interested in bringing that safe harbor inside of the SEC that would stop all of this regulation by enforcement. So I personally throw Giancarlo in the ring. I think he would be amazing, but we will see. Let me tell you what would be amazing is this right here. Amazon and the Real USD by Ripple. Amazon simulates tokenization with stable coins in collaboration with Ripple partners NTT Data and StraitsX. Look at this right here from XRP Drops and Wrath of Common as well. Amazon simulates tokenized seller receivables settled with stable coins. As a part of Singapore FinTech Festival, Amazon is involved in blockchain tokenization simulation collaboration with stablecoin firms StraitsX and NTT Digital. Well, NTT Data developed an international money transfer platform using the Ripple payment protocol. Come on in. StraitsX and Ripple. Here we see bridging TradFi and DeFi powered by Ripple. Look, this is super, super exciting because we've known now for a while, and you can see that highlighted here as well. Give both of those guys a follow. Amazon simulating the tokenized seller receivables settled with stable coins. And we know Amazon also entered into a crypto AWS partner profile partnership with Ripple in the past. And there it is. And that's been that way for years. So it's always been suggested and talked about that there was a huge relationship. And maybe even Amazon has a huge pile of XRP, and maybe not long from now, real USD to go along with it. So super excited about this information. Look, understanding what we see, we've gotten a president that's made it very clear. The U.S. will be the leader of crypto, period. Write that down. This guy's not playing around. He knows what he has to do to turn this country and this economy around, not just for us, but for the rest of the world to get straight too, because it's our dollar impacting everyone else's economy as well. So more to come on it, but how would you inject large amounts of liquidity very quickly into a new system and a new digital economy? I would monetize X. Yeah, that's what they're getting ready to do, and turn it into a payments app. So it's also a social media app, and it becomes a super app. I would open up large platforms like Amazon to using stable coins and XRP, XLM, and other payment protocols. You know, this is a quick way to tap into the already economy here. And I could see that they're setting up these large entrants to liquidity and utility here. And it's going to change the world in short order when it goes down. I really do believe that. Looking right here, you can see Ripple's long-term goal is for XRP to become a world reserve currency. And before it becomes that, it's going to have to prove to the world it can serve a successful manner as a payment token. And that's exactly what I just laid out for you. But that has always been the path. The simple goal of making XRP the world reserve digital currency. That's Ripple Insight from 2017. It's always stuck out to me. I've never seen another company suggest such a thing in my life. And understanding all the things I've learned along the way, I'm more bullish now that we are absolutely going to get there. There's no question about it. And look, if you're going to get there, you got to have people in a room like this. And we do. So I'm very excited. Now, Eggrag Crypto put out a chart not long ago called Just Do It. XRP can rally between $6 and $13. What I want to show you inside of this, because I believe it can go 4 or 5 digits. But here, I want to show you the barrier we need to get across and secure support of is $1.10, according to Eggrag Crypto. So, if we get above that $1.10 mark, then all of these other price points become real serious questions and places and targets that we really see attainable. Look, obviously, I really do believe that we are on the journey of watching this thing become the world reserve bridge currency that complements the world, doesn't hurt it or harm it. And in order to be true that it doesn't harm it but help it, I believed, since before I was a YouTuber, that you would have to give other governments and central banks a position in XRP, because it ain't money unless the world agrees that it's money. And your XRP ledger that has a decentralized exchange for the world in it, it's not a world exchange unless the world is using it. And I believe that they will. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone. Oh my goodness. We're about to get our country back, and I'm about to show it to you. DigPerspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, and come on in for next to nothing. Come on in.